Here we have two African land snails, better known as Achatina felica. You can commonly find these in pet shops or online, and they are used generally as pets for children or for school projects because they're generally easy to keep. These two, however, will be laying eggs and mating to produce escargot. Escargot, in essence, is snail meat used for food. In France, these are a delicacy and across mainland Europe. However, in Africa, they're part of a staple diet. Here, in this current climate in Great Britain, when we are facing some harsh, hard economic downturn, you can breed these easily at home to produce escargot. Escargot is a meat which is generally high in protein, around about 12 to 14%, also high in iron. They also contain all the amino acids your body requires. Also, the snail trail, or the slime, is used in beauty products to help aid against scarring, etc, etc. However, I'm not going to go into the beauty side of things with snails because they're not very beautiful, to be fair. These two, you can see, are slightly different. This one here is a normal Achatina felica, brown coloured shell, long and very well developed. This one, however, is yellow. The snail itself is generally slightly more whiter. This is a subspecies of this variety known as Achatina felica hamley. However, there's no difference with that one and that one when it comes to quality of meat. Now, snails are easy to breed, you just need two of them. Two snails will equal lots of eggs. Eggs, however, do take a while to hatch, take a long time to, to grow. Now, this is a slow process, but once you start, you are able then to continue to produce a lot of escargot. Now, firstly, you need two snails at least, because although they're hermaphrodites and they both have the male and female organ, you need two to mate. Once they've mated, both will produce eggs. In turn, you will take these eggs out of the soil and place them in another container, which will show you later time when they do produce some eggs. Now, the common husbandry of this African land snail is very simple. You need basically soil to a relatively nice little depth. This allows them to dig slightly and then lay their eggs. The soil, which I would generally use, make sure it would be relatively sterile or of an environment where it's been manufactured for another purpose, i.e. multi-purpose compost, or even better still, believe it or not, grow bags. Grow bags are good for tomatoes. For some unknown reason, these creatures love that kind of soil. Maybe it's because it's got a high magnesium content, or maybe it's because it's got calcium already in the soil. Now, as for that, you need to then keep this moist, because these are from temperate tropical regions. They need moisture. So as you can see, this soil is relatively wet and damp. Giving them a spray every day, like this I suppose, using a little spray bottle that you would get from a hairdressing supply shop or a garden centre or wherever. Just give them a slight little spray over, keep them moist, keep them damp. That's the kind of conditions they like. Food, you can see here, got a bit of lettuce here, courgette here. However, it doesn't really matter what you feed them, providing it's vegetation. When they're adults this way anyway, they prefer to eat detritus, which is generally rotting vegetation. They do tend to eat in the soil. Now, a lot of people here keep these for pets and wondering, why haven't I got a source of calcium in here? Well, I have. There is no cuttlefish bone in here at the moment, and I don't intend to put one in. I'll probably end up using a block. But as you can see, there is white deposits in the soil all around. You can see even on the shell actually. Now this is actually powder, calcium powder, which I've stolen from my reptiles, because I keep reptiles as well, but I've stolen from them and just sprinkled it on the soil. This is because in the natural environment they will get their calcium from the soil. However, if this is a bit too much trouble for you, relatively expensive as well, you can use a variety of sources. cuttlefish, oyster shell. You can use calcium blocks, limestone. You can use eggshell, providing the eggshell has been cooked for at least 80 degrees Celsius for at least 10 to 15 minutes. This is to kill any bacteria. And then grind it up and then place it in a bowl, or mix it in the soil, etc, etc. Now, why would I want to do this? Like I said before, the economic climate is bad and I need to provide food for my children. There are other aspects to snail farming in the home environment as well that need to be considered. One of these is artificial heat, as these are tropical animals. Now, heat can be provided in a variety of sources. I use a heat mat, but generally in a household environment, modern sized house, modern built house has central heating, nice room temperature is always handy. I don't tend to worry too much about a day-night cycle. Snails themselves are generally nocturnal, come out when there's at least predators, so they feed more then. However, natural light comes through the room, through the window, that's fine for them. The lid of this container that they're in is perforated. This allows air holes, although it's not good at holding moisture. Hence I have to spray them daily and make sure this compost is moist. Now, other aspects now, you may think that, yep, snails, they carry diseases, they carry nematodes, trematodes, worms that may cause you to be ill. Well, to be honest, captive environment, bring them through captivity, you're not really going to have that problem. However, when it comes to it, when you're having to produce your escargot, the snails, when they're ready to be killed as meat, you will take those particular snails, put them into a clean container, maybe like this, maybe like just a normal plastic tub with a lid, without any compost and without food. And then you do this for 5 days. Every day you spray them, make sure that you wash off any detritus. This allows anything in their stomach and their gut to disappear. Over the period of time also, if you every now and then, as your snails are growing or as your breeding snails are growing, if you have any worries about worms, because this compost, although it's from a garden centre or what have you, it's still going to contain some sort of bacteria possibly. So you can use a hemp seed, which you can pick up from any pet shop or fishing shop, which is used for bird food or for fishing. Grind it down to a powder, and then you add a little bit of hot water or warm water, mix it up and make it into like a sort of a pasty, stodgy soup. These snails will eat it. This acts as a natural purge for these snails. They go mad for it, they love it. But it acts as a natural purge, and what it'll do, it'll kill any worms inside them, any nematodes, trematodes, bacteria, whatever, and it'll force it out, and it acts like a bit of a wormer really, when like you'd get for your dog from the vet, or similar. So there's all sorts of tricks that we go on. As I go through my process of my snail farming, the videos will incorporate this. This is the introduction, so this is just telling you basically what I'm going to do, what these 2 snails are for. These snails will never be eaten, number one, they're too old, I've had them for a couple of years now, and also my children might go a bit bananas since they are family pets. Yeah, so from this point on, we'll start with this, and my next video will then show you how, what happens after mating and the snail eggs are produced. Hope to see you again then soon, and I hope you enjoyed this little video, although it might have been a bit boring due to the fact you're looking at 2 snails doing nothing. I hope it's been informative, and I hope to catch you again soon later on for the next instalment.